Hello and welcome to another video. On this video, I'm gonna talk about a little bit about Windows Communication Foundation. So it just stands for WCF. If you do a Google search WCF, one of the first results it's from MSDN. So this is where we're gonna start, and this is the place where you need to watch videos on how to get started. So in this video, I'm gonna show you from scratch how you can get started. If you need more details, just go back to this MSDN and you'll see why WCF is so helpful in exchanging data from all kinds of places. So what I'm gonna do is go to File, Main, New Project, and I'm gonna pick .NET 4 and WCF, and I'm gonna pick WCF Service Library. I'll just change this for hit OK. Still good working. So if you're gonna watch this video, make sure you have time with you because I'm starting from zero. It's still creating successful. Okay, I think that's it. So when you first open your project, this is how it's gonna look. So we're open. I'm gonna show you the files that you have. There's two files, iService and the service file. So what I'm gonna do is using the notes. As you can see here, there's a comment here that you can rename this interface. So as you can see, there has an I, capital I for interface. So we're gonna rename this. So double click on it, right click, and you should get a menu, and it should be refactor. So it's right here, refactor, rename. So this is what you're gonna call your interface. On this demo, we're gonna work on creating a calculator service. So I'm gonna call it iCalculator service, like that. Then we're gonna click next. I'm gonna click next and next. On your Visual Studio, it might look different, that refactor, but that's the main thing, that you can rename it and just hit next or finish when you get the little wizard. Now after that, as you can see, the refactor actually did what I was gonna do manually. That is rename this other class that I have here, or the template has on. So if we open that file there, it's a class, like nothing fancy, but it's just a class that you make up. Usually it's good to keep the same type of name, and but you can see it's using the interface. So we're gonna inherit whatever the interface has on. We're gonna go back to this file first because this is the starting point. I'm gonna hide this and go through the code here. So as you can see here, I'm gonna hide this one too for right now. So as you can see here, you first what you need to do, at least on this template, this is done it for you. But this first section, this interface, is the name that you pick, and one of the attributes that you need to assign is the service contract. And what that is, it's, as you can see in the little note, indicates that an interface or a class defined as a service contract in the application. Basically what it means is what kind of service you're gonna be doing. So this is a service contract, and what's inside of this service contract is on this example there's two. One very simple called get data. It takes an integer and it returns a string. Okay, change that. And then as you can see, it has an attribute, but this one is operation contract. So basically what you're saying here is on my service, I'm gonna be having this type of operation. And the same thing goes with this one, but this one, uh, this operation contract is more complicated. So we're gonna see that in a moment. As you can see, there's a custom class called compositive type. So basically that's you're gonna allow to get data of this type. And for that, you need to create a class of that type with that name. And on this one, you're gonna have to add this attribute called data contract. And as you can see, it's just the basic properties here. We got two properties with the same attribute, data member. One is just a string, one is just a boolean. So we're gonna hold this, at least this class, for our next video. On this one, we're gonna do a calculator. So on our service, I wanna allow people to call my service, and through SOAP services or SOAP protocol, they can submit two numbers and my service will return the results. So to do this, we're gonna do the same thing as above. We're gonna add this attribute, and here we're gonna say that we're gonna return a double, and we're gonna call this add, and we're gonna take two integers. So the first is first number, another integer called number 2, and that's it. I'm using uh, a tool for Visual Studio. As you can see, it's telling me that I should just rename the arguments differently. And this tool that I'm using, it's called, I think I have it somewhere in here. Uh, it's called ReSharper, C Sharp, ReSharper. Where did I have it? Actually, I can just right click on here and it's gonna come up. Well, I'll show you that adding for Visual Studio later on. So as you can see, that's all you need to do on your interface. Now, if I run this, it's gonna fail. As you can see, it won't run. It says that the service calculator, or actually calculator service, does not implement interface member add. So what that means is that it's in the interface, but our service, which is in the other file, does not have a method to actually use it. So we have an interface with it, but how we're gonna use it, or how we're gonna publish it out. So what we're gonna do is go back to the bottom and say public double add, and then we're gonna say integer number 1, number 2, like that. As you can see, it has the same naming, which is just double add, same as this one, double add number 1, number 2. So that's how you do And then of course all you do now is just return the results back to the client. So we can just do number 1 plus number 2. Save it. And as you can see now, we probably can run it. Takes a while. Still going. And one of the nice things about this template that we have is that we have this WCF test client on your library that you're building. It does it for you. You don't have to do anything to get this little amp, or you just run it. And as you can see here, there's 3 public services or contract service that we have, and one of them is add. That's the one we just did, which is this add. So to test it out, all you do is double click it, and as you can see, there's the 2 arguments, number 1, number 2, that you're seeing from here, and it tells you what kind of value you need to pass, which is an integer. So we're just gonna pass 10 and 2, and you click this invoke. Should wait a few more seconds. As you can see, now we got the value returned, which is 12, and it's a double like we specify. So very easy to use. 109. So obviously you can add to the service another function called subtract, multiply, and so on, and then you can create your own service. So I'm gonna stop this now. Now we're not gonna add more uh, operations to this. Obviously you can add more, just copying this guy and doing subtract and multiply. Now what I'm gonna do is show you how you can use this WCF service that you just made, but from a client, because this is just your service. Now we're gonna see how you can call it from your different application. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add a new project, and this time it's gonna be a Windows console. I'm just gonna click OK, and this is I'm gonna pretend this is our client that is gonna call our service we just made. So to do that, you need to add reference, add service reference, and you're gonna click on that, and it's very easy. What you do is click discover. In this case, since it's in our local solution, and as you can see here, we should see uh, the service we just made, and we call that service calculator service, and that's the interface. So I'm gonna click that. We'll just click our add cal. That's it. Just keep it simple. And that's it. As you can see, it did add other namespaces for this project, and we have the reference right here. So to use it, all you need to do is go here and add using console, which is the one you're using, your current project, that service cal, and that's all you need. And to actually use it, all you need to do is say now cal equals new. We're gonna say calculator service client, and there's some parameters, but on this one we're just gonna leave it blank because we only have one. And then here all you need to do is we're gonna do console that right. I'm gonna say count that, and as you can see, that's where, remember that we had two by default, which is get data and get data using data contract, and the one we did was add. So we're gonna add 20 plus 30, something simple. And here we're just gonna say reline. So when we run it, it will, at least we will see that result. So actually we can just make it nicer. We can say 20 plus 30 equals like that. So all you do now is hit start debugging. Oops, forgot a step over here. I'm gonna cancel this. We need to go to this project we have here, since we have two. So we're gonna click console application and right click and say set a startup project. Click that one. Now hit debug. So if it works, it's gonna add 20 plus 30, hopefully. So as you can see, the service we just made is working perfectly. 20 plus 30 equals 50. So hopefully this will give you an idea how you can start playing around with WCF. And if you have more questions, go back to the MSDN library. It has a lot of videos that you can watch on this. I'm not gonna play this one, but there's a lot of videos and beginner's guide that will help you more on this subject. So thank you for watching this video.